This is the brief on the key artificial intelligence updates for December 11th, 2025. So today's news is really all about the product war between OpenAI and Google. It just exploded, right alongside a huge policy shift in the US and some worrying signs about industry transparency. All right, let's break down the 4 things you really need to know. First up, the model arms race. Well, it just went into overdrive. OpenAI launched GPT 5.2 with this massive 400,000 token context window. I mean, think of it like a perfect long-term memory. And here's the kicker. They're claiming their Pro version outperforms human experts almost 71% of the time, which, immediately pushed Google to release its own upgraded Gemini agent. Okay, second, let's shift gears from the labs over to Washington because we just saw a huge policy change. President Trump signed an executive order giving the federal government final say on AI rules. So what does that actually mean? Well, it could wipe out a bunch of state-level AI laws in places like California and Texas, which means way less red tape for developers. Third, let's talk infrastructure. The demand? It is still just explosive. Broadcom's revenue is huge, sure, but the real story is their $73 billion AI backlog. That number basically guarantees a massive sustained build-out for at least the next year and a half. And finally, there's some worrying news on transparency. We're seeing this pretty dramatic global decline in how open developers are being. Stanford's latest index shows the average score just tanked from 58 last year down to 40. It really highlights this huge gap between open players like IBM and the more secretive ones like xAI and Midjourney, who scored a measly 14. So the whole AI landscape right now is a story of competing models, huge infrastructure spending, and fast-moving government regulation, all happening at once.